half-time. I don't think too many, well, no surprises really as to what we were really expecting. David, what did you make of that first 45 minutes?
My 4-3 looks like the worst prediction ever. What I saw was it's frustrating because before the show we were talking about the quality that Man City have got, and I don't think the quality has actually shown itself at the moment. There's getting in opportunities, maybe to get the ball wide, to get crosses in. There's been little spits and spats of sort of threatening moments, but you know, Oblak's walked off the field without having to make a save from a shot on target. There's been a lot of long range stuff, which is a little bit frustrating. I'm still confident. I mean, I think Trev checked the possession stats, 72%. So you know, City are definitely the bossing team, but that shot on target.
The only surprise for me has come from our defensive line, Trevor. We were talking before and we were all presuming that John Stones is going to be playing right back. Quickly we realised that it's Nathan Ake left back and Cancelo right back. What have you made of that? Why do you think he's done it like that?
Well, to start with, Cancelo gets forward more. And if he was playing on the left, I think Llorente, who's already shown that he's got unbelievable pace, is a threat. And JMO mentioned in pre-game chat, and he said that he has been getting down the right-hand side, which is one of their game plans, getting down the right-hand side, and they've been getting bodies in the box for crosses. I think playing Nathan Ake at left-back, he obviously just about matched him for pace, but he's just made him subdued down that right-hand side. And from there on in, they've not really had a threat on like, one, they've not had a shot on target, but two, they've not had any threat going forward. So they've then reverted back to almost like a 5-5, which is very difficult to break down. Shaun mentioned it while we were watching the game. We've got to have some more shots on target from outside the box, just to suck one or two out, create little holes for 1-2s, third man runs. If we do that, I think we can open them up. And as they get a little bit more fatigued, mistakes might come in. So we've just got to stick to our principles, keep moving the ball, keep probing, recycling, probing. And I think if we do that with a little bit of better quality and maybe fresh legs, maybe partway through the second half, we can unlock it.
Yeah, from where we're sat inside the stadium, we're getting an incredible view. We're on the line in that first half of the Atletico Madrid formation, which, as Trevor perfectly described, we were seeing as a 5 and a 5, Shaun. And there was two clear rows, really no spaces. They're playing very, very tight. And as it stands at the minute, we are finding it difficult to find any space.
Well, you can actually understand why, but I think we've had opportunities on the break where the space has been there to either attack or, like J-Mel said, give that ball out wide or slip somebody in. But sometimes it gets to the point where we take a bit too many touches, then they all get back into that 5 and 5, and then we end up doing what Trevor says, where we have to be patient and probe. And that's so tight that you don't really want to force the ball. The 2 times, I think, or 3 times that they tried to play that little cute ball, it got snuffed out, and they tried to counter-attack, and then we win the ball back again. So I think we have to be careful, because that's what they're trying to do, make us force the errors and then capitalise off of it. So I think when we do have the space, we have to try and go for the jugular, because that's the only time we're going to get it, as you've seen, for the last 45 minutes. They're not going to leave any gaps for us to exploit.
So don't let them get into that 5 and 5. Exploit it before they've had a chance to get into that drilled rows.
Yeah, what's interesting, they set up as attacking. I mean, for the limited amount of attack, it was a 4-4-2. It was quite evident. And as soon as they went into defence, it was actually a 5-3-2. But it's squashed into a 5-5 because what Man City are doing, and I think what Shaun is saying, because it's such a slow build-up, it means that the other two get dragged back into it. Quicker transition would mean that they would start with 2 up front, as in Felix and Griezmann, and then we would only be attacking 8 defenders rather than 10. So I think it's just, again, it's the speed that things need to be done. As I say, we know we've got the quality and the skill to be able to do it, just to be able to open the gaps up while they're there, because every second that goes by, you end up with a 5v5. It's ended up at the end of the half more like it was, less than it was at the beginning.
So how do we, Trevor, make that transition? How do we do it quickly? How do these players do it, or do you want to see a change off the bench?
Well, I think that's almost an admission that it's not working if you make changes. But I think if you look at it, if we keep on working them side to side laterally, pulling the ball out, recycling it, getting them to move, we can tire them out. And I think that's where mistakes are made. So stick to our principles, keep moving the ball. Hopefully gaps will open up. And when they do, have we got the quality then to pick out the moments where we be a little bit more penetrative, get third man runs, get players to the byline and get the shots in on target?
We've said it several times this season when we've had sort of coming in 0-0 at half-time, and it's often just a case of patience, Shaun. Just keep doing what we're doing and trusting. It's a horrible football cliche, but trusting the process.
Yeah, they definitely have to trust in the process, and I think you've seen that over the years that they have done that. But like I said, if the gap's there to be taken in a game like this, you have to risk it, especially people like the wingers, because as soon as you take one man out of the game, then they're in all sorts, because then their defenders have to slide across and everybody has to rotate, and then there's always a spare man that you can get your head up, and we have the quality to pick that pass out. So I think when me and Trev was talking before, like, he was saying this could be a game suited for like a Jack Grealish or a Phil Foden, because you know what those two are both like. They're naturally going to drive out people. They're going to do exactly what Sterling does, but they'll go each way. And I think you need to take people on in this game to make the difference better and beneficial for you.
Do you think we'll see any changes in the second half, or do you agree with Trevor that that's an admission of defeat in...
Not
defeat.
It's just that it's not working. Yeah,
yes.
It's not working.
I wouldn't say it's not working, because I think in a way it is, because we're keeping the ball back, and if we do lose it, it's set up in a way that we win it back, and if that threat gets on the ball, we nullify it where they're just isolated, where they can't even pass the ball back, so we end up with the ball. So in respects of all that, it's working. I think in respects of trying to break them down, because they're so compact and there's no space, you just need that person or that player that's just going to say, do you know what, I'm going to take you on, and if you come next, I'm just going to pass it. Sort of thing. He just needs to have like a Phil Foden attitude where he just takes people out of the game, even with just 2 yards, basically.
I actually think, even though it's not working, bringing on subs might be part of the bigger strategy. So tire them out and then get your players, especially like your Jack Grealish and your Phil Foden, who one against one can beat a man, break a line, and that's how we're going to unlock them. So get the players on who keep possession in the first half, halfway through the second half, bring players on who one-on-one can take players on. Because I believe Jesus is supposed to be the best one-on-one attacker we've got, as in when they do their exercises. So if he can get some kind of joy going forward as well, start beating players, we'll get opportunities.
I'm liking this. We've got a game plan. It does feel like this is what we're expecting, though, David. This defensive, us having to be patient. Do you think that Atletico going in at half time, and this is they're quite happy right now?
Well, I think from the lineup, as I say, you've got the likes of Carrera, Lamar, who could come on with a more attack-minded position on the field. But like the guys are saying here, I think this is a game crying out for Phil Foden. I just think, and to the sacrifice perhaps of Gundogan, someone who is going to play more deeper and forward, pick up balls, interlink more with the likes of Silva and KDB, just to drag Atletico players out of position.
Do you think in the second half, Trevor, we need to get a goal in this game? Is 0-0 a disaster? It's
not a disaster, because I think we have got the better group of players. And I think if we use, the likes of Jesus, who, like I just mentioned, can take players on, Grealish, Foden, on individual one-on-one battles, you can get match winners over there. But I think ideally you'd want to go with at least a lead. Take a little bit of jeopardy out of it. Go there, don't play the occasion, play the game, and hopefully be able to get over the line that way.
Thank you. Now, you've been sending in your questions through the WhatsApp number. Thank you so much. We've got a question here from Saxon, and it's for Shaun. And Shaun, Saxon said he supported City all his life because you were his mum's favourite player. He was there in the stadium for the... Yeah.
No, I want to know why J-Mo's laughing.
He was in the stadium for the QPR match, and he'd like to know if you celebrated with the City players after the game.
I didn't celebrate, but I stayed in the tunnel by the car park and watched, and obviously let me wait. The coach waited for me, basically, while I watched City lift the trophy.
Oh, did they? The QPR coach waited for you?
Yeah, they did.
I didn't know that. Brilliant. Lovely question. Thank you, Saxon. OK, we've also had a question from Bob. Younger fans have only seen Simeone, the manager, but what was Simeone, the player, like? Did your paths cross with any of you?
Yeah, must have done.
Well, we played him in the 2002 World Cup, so I played in the England team that played against Argentina, and Simeone was playing. And I've got a few pictures and images from that game, and if looks could kill, I mean, he was an aggressive player, and he was exactly like he is in the technical area. He's aggressive, he's animated, he wants to win any way possible, and he was exactly like that on the pitch. But he was a very combative player, and he had a fantastic career.
I remember watching that game.
Brilliant. Thank you.
I was on a bench.
You had a cracking view then. Thank you. Thank you very much, gents, and thank you for sending in your WhatsApp questions. We love them. I get that nugget from Shaun there that I didn't know, so thank you very much. So we're going to have a look now at Who's Stat. So we're going to give you clue 1 and clue 2 again if you haven't got it already, and then we're going to give you a new clue 3. So Who's Stat? Clue 1. This player made 11 league appearances in City's 2012 title-winning season. Clue 2. This player has won his country's Player of the Year title 5 times in the last 6 years. Okay. Clue 3. This is your new one. This player has made over 200 appearances for tonight's opponents.
That's the icing on the cake for us.
Okay.
See, that silhouette was Bernardo Silva.
Is the silhouette thrown you?
Yeah. You know what? The silhouette, I thought it was Nicky Summerby on the silhouettes. Obviously, the dates don't match up, but I think we do very confident know who this is.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm still a little bit stumped. I've got to admit tonight. You can hashtag Man City to let us know who you think it's who you think it is. Okay, we're going to have a quick look now at what to expect from City Plus this April. There is documentaries, live games, classic matches, and much, much more.
Played a great run here down the channel. It's one stick on the goal corner! And from despair to delight, the City fans celebrate. Would you believe it? And Nicky Weaver's cartwheel show.
Utter bedlam. I mean, utter bedlam. It was just a tsunami.
The Manchester City have completed the climb back to the Premiership.
Buda is a terrific pass, great vision. Oh, and City will score here.
Gets to the near post, it's sent to the back stick. Where it's driven in by Riyad Mahrez. 3-1 to Manchester City.
For 2022, it is Manchester City who are your Conti Cup champions.
So the question is the title race back on?
This is where City love to exploit teams here. It's Tevez who will go for goal. Oh, it's in! Carlos Tevez scores a stunner.
The right choice. Or it's a sloppy back pass, and they may be in here against City. They are, and Carlos Tevez has bagged a hat-trick. Forget the golf, he's back playing football and firing in goals for fun.
There really is some incredible content on City Plus. Cannot recommend it highly enough. And of course, on City Plus and on the City app, you get the best commentary for every single game with Alistair Mann. Tonight, he is joined by the wonderful Andy Morrison. I so enjoy Andy's co-commentary. So that is the place to get your commentary. We'll be back at full time, hopefully talking about some City goals. It's over to you, Alistair.
Thanks, Natalie. Yeah, let's hope that we can have a little bit more in the way of goal-mouth action. The statistics from the first half, 73% possession for the Blues, 6 attempts, sadly none of them on target though. As for Atletico Madrid, no attempts and therefore none on target.